we are going to base on how to expand algebraic brackets. How to expand a given algebraic brackets. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to expand two brackets. So now we are still under algebraic expression. So under the algebraic expression, we are looking at how to expand brackets. So suppose we have A plus B times bracket C plus D. So how are you going to expand this bracket? So in this case, we use the terms in the first bracket to expand the second bracket. So we take the first term. The first term is A. So we use this A to expand this bracket. After that, we use the B to expand the same bracket. So on this note, when we use the A to expand the second bracket, we have A bracket C plus D. After that, you use the second term in the first bracket, that's B, to expand the same second bracket. And we have B times C plus D. So after you have done with this one, then take your time and use the term outside the bracket, that's A, to multiply each of the terms inside the bracket. So we have A times C, we have A times D, we have plus AD. So you see that we are done with this one. Now let's move on to the second bracket. And the term outside that bracket is B. So you have to use the B to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. So B times C is BC. And B times D is BD. So after this one, you can do expression, go through the terms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So when you go through the terms, see that we cannot add or subtract any of the terms. So meaning we are done with this expansion. So now let's take more examples for better understanding. Suppose we have 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 2. So for us to expand this bracket, we have to use the terms in the first bracket to open the second bracket. So you take the first term, that's the 2s, to multiply all the terms in the second bracket. In this case, we have 2s times 3s minus 2. After that, check the sign here. The sign here is plus. Bring that one here. So take the second term in the first bracket to expand the same second bracket. We have 3 bracket 3s minus 2. So after this one, then you take your time and expand this bracket. So you take the first term. When you consider the first bracket, the term outside is 2s. So 2s times 3s is 6x squared. Now, 2s times negative 2, we have minus 4x plus, now we are moving on to the second bracket. We are going to use this term 3 to multiply each of the terms in this bracket. On this note, 3 by 3s is 9x. 3 by negative 2 is minus 6. So after doing this one, now let's check. Either we have like terms in this expression. So when we look at this one carefully, we can clearly see that We have x and x. We have minus 4s and positive 9s. They are like terms. We can add or subtract them. We have our 6x squared minus 4s plus 9s. Minus 4s plus 9s. We have plus 5x minus 6. So on this note, we can see that here is x power 2 and here is x. They are not the same. I mean, we cannot add or subtract them. So we have to leave them like this because they are unlike terms. So now let's take another example. That's example 2. In example 2, who's stopping? Who's stopping? So example 2. Let's look at example 2. So in example 2, we have 2s squared minus 2s bracket minus x plus 3 plus 6 bracket x minus 2 plus 10. So we have to take our time and expand this bracket or to simplify this bracket. So now we see that the minus here is separating this term from this term. So now let's write our 2s squared here. So at this point, the term outside this bracket is minus 2s. So we have to take the minus 2s to multiply each of the terms in this bracket. On this note, minus 2s times minus s, we have negative by negative. Since they are of the same sign, the result will be what? Positive. So 2s times x is x 2s squared. So minus positive. Since they are of the different sign and they are multiplying, the result will be what? Negative. So 2x by 3 is 6x. So after this one, let's move on to expand this bracket. You have to use the term outside, which is 6, to multiply each of the terms inside the bracket. So 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 2 is minus 12 plus the constant 10. So after this one, you have to take your time and group the like terms. And when you look at this expression, the terms are already grouped. So let's simplify them. We have 2s squared plus 2s squared. So here, let's consider coefficients. That's 2 and 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And the s squares are the same, then you have to write 1. We have minus 6x plus 6x. Since we have negative 6 and positive 6, they will cancel each other, and it will leave with minus 12 plus 10. Minus 12 plus 10 is negative 2. So therefore, when you expand this expression and simplify, this is the final answer you will get. So now let's take the example 3. For example 3, we have to expand x, y, bracket x minus y plus y, bracket x, y plus x. So now let's expand this bracket. X, y times x. You see here we have x and x. So when x multiply x, we have x squared. Then bring the word y. That's xy times s is s squared y. So xy times minus y is minus xy. y squared. Now we are done with the expansion of the first bracket. Let's move on to the second bracket. You have plus y times xy. You have two y's multiplying each other. We have x times y squared. So y times this x, we have x, y. So on this note, we have to check it and check for the like terms. So you see that this x squared, y. This x, y squared. This means this term and this term, they are not the same. Because for the first term, the power is on the x. And for the second term, the power is on the y. Meaning they are not the same. So meaning you cannot add or subtract. So we have our x squared y here because it has no like term in this expression. Now let's check the second term and the third term. We have x, here too is x. We have y squared, here too is y squared. This means that these two terms are alike, meaning we can add or subtract them. So the coefficients here, the coefficient here is 1, that's negative. And the coefficient is 1, that's positive. Meaning they can cancel each other. And this one has no like term. And this will be the answer for this expression. So the last example will be the example 4. So in the example 4, suppose we have negative x bracket 10 minus y. So we have to expand this bracket. We have to consider the term outside, that's negative s, to multiply each of the terms inside the bracket. So minus s times 10 is minus 10x. So this negative by negative. Since they are of the same sign, that's negative, and they are under multiplication, the result will be positive. So s times y is xy. So on this note, this will be the final answer since each of the terms, they are not alike. So that's how to expand a given bracket.